What's up, everybody? This week we look at the greatest summer blockbuster of all time, Jurassic Park. That and a whole lot more is to come, because maybe we were so preoccupied that we didn't think about whether we should. Welcome to the show. And that is the problem with the world today. Everybody's so preoccupied that they can do something, they don't realize whether or not they should do something. So, anyway, never mind. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well on this delayed episode of the podcast. There's a reason why it's delayed, but first let me introduce you to a new voice you'll hear on this podcast. She is formerly our sarcastic teen, now she's our Snarky Senior. She will be going off to university here in a little while. In fact, she's done such a good job, she's taken over the editing duties, and as far as videos go, I am delighted to welcome to the podcast Tara. Tara, how are you?
Good.
Okay, she's a little nervous. It's her first time, but don't worry, we'll get through it. Now, why did we delayed? Tara, can you tell them why we're delayed?
Well, we had to build and re-put up the studio that we are currently recording in.
Yeah, we got a brand new studio. What it is that, as I mentioned before, we had some upheaval in my 8 to 5, and one of the opportunities was to work from your own studios. And you know what? I've wanted to build my own place where I can record music, play music, for many, many years now. And so me and Tara last week basically took apart my little recording nook in my bedroom and transferred it into my office, and now I've got a nice studio almost completely built.
It was a pain.
Yeah, it was painful.
It was a royal pain.
Would you say it's a pain in your ass?
Yeah, I would actually.
No, guys, this is the thing. I've got a glass desk that I work off of, right? We had to dismantle the glass desk, and I've got a pair of power conditioners inside a flight case to act as my power boosters, and that was... Would you say that was Satan?
No, I think I would quite say that it was worse than Satan. What's worse than Satan?
Well, there are many things I could say, but I'm trying to remain partial here. So, but you know,
I'm
yeah,
not though. But okay,
that is gonna actually do some really good things for the podcast as a whole. We're gonna have a better consistent sound because now I've got a permanent setup and I'm not jumping from studio to studio. I also want to thank Greg for helping me with the last few pieces of equipment. Shout out to a buddy of mine, Steve, who helped me get the last few pieces of equipment that I didn't have. And yeah, but like I said, we're gonna have a more consistent sound because these microphones are not going anywhere. They're where their home is, and that's all there is to it. And you know, it's going to be better. The show is going to be better, so on and so forth. But again, thank you for helping me put this together.
Welcome.
Yeah, as you can tell, she's excited.
Aren't I though?
Yeah, I mean, it's first thing in the middle of the afternoon that we're recording.
I know. I just woke up.
Yeah, it's 1:44 p.m. So yeah. Who's together by now, right? You can still taste the toothpaste?
I know, right? Duh.
So, what else has been happening while we've been off the air? So, we've had my least favorite time of the year. International football. Yes, I know. The soccer season for all you guys in the United States and the football season has been interrupted by the scourge of international football. And it is with a tinge of relief and a tinge of regret that I withdraw my support for the German national team. Would you like to know why?
Yeah.
Tell she's really into this. No, it's the way that they treated Arsenal's Mesut Ozil over the summer was bad enough, but now they're coming out and they're crapping on the players, crapping on the fans, I'm done with that. I'm completely done. Germany, you've given me some really good times, but as I've said before, if Wales are there, I am Welsh through and through, and I hope we win. And if Wales are not there, I'm transferring it to France.
Yay.
Why not England? Because I'm Welsh.
I didn't say that, and that's not how I sound. He's highly incorrect.
Well, no, that wasn't for you. That was for somebody out there asking, why don't you support England? Well, because I'm not English.
Who?
People.
I know who.
Who?
A person.
Okay. Vagueness is the order of the day, apparently.
Duh.
Yeah, right.
Like, have you not met me?
A couple times. In fact, one of the
Really?
one of the times.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. One of the times I met you was at the CenturyLink Center last year.
Yep. That is true.
Yes, last year. And the reason I'm bringing this up will come here is last year, me and Tara scored tickets for the WWE.
I got us tickets.
Yes, Tara got us tickets.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, early Christmas present for me. And what do you think? What do you think of the show last year?
Well, I got to see Shinsuke, so I was pretty cool, and I also got to see my natty cat, so I was also pretty cool.
And your AJ Styles.
Yeah, that too, and I scored a shirt.
And your favorite redheaded lady.
And oh my god, I don't think you guys understand.
No, you guys don't
I got
understand.
to see Becky Lynch.
Now, for those of you who don't understand, Tara is...
You really don't understand.
Tara is strawberry blonde.
No.
Auburn.
I'm Auburn.
I'm Auburn, all right, which is, as we know, is code word for ginger.
Really? Really, John?
Really. But her favorite wrestlers include...
Sheamus. Becky Lynch.
Heath Slater.
You keep on pushing him on me. I'm just like, nah.
Christian.
Yes.
Ginger.
Okay. I like other wrestlers that are not ginger, but majority of them are ginger. Let's just be real here.
The ginger and European.
Yes. Ginger and European. And if you happen to be ginger and European, then that's like icing on top of the cake.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially with Sheamus.
Yeah,
and
Becky.
Me and Tara have gotten along so well since that show. We've started calling each other fella.
Yes. Before I lost my phone, he was saved in my phone as fella.
Nice. Well, the reason we're bringing it up
because I lost my phone.
The reason we're bringing it up is that in December they're coming back in town. This time it'll be the Raw people, so we will not see any of her redheaded heroes.
Yeah, so
but
sadly,
you have a new hero who is going to be there.
Yes.
And oh my god, go on.
Okay, Ronda Rousey. In case you guys don't know who this amazing, fabulous, awesome person is, she was formerly the UFC Bantamweight Women's Champion. Now she is on WWE, and she picked up Triple H and threw him like a rag doll.
Oh yeah, that's easy to do. Triple H is a good wrestler, regardless of what people say.
And his wife, and then she did it to what's his face? I forget.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Cook Angel.
I probably might get something because I forgot his name, but I forget people's names.
You forget people's names.
It happens, okay?
So what we decided to do, all right, is that show's going to be on a Sunday night. And as soon as that show's over, when we get home, we're going to come right back into the studio.
Oh, are we now?
And we're going to talk about what we saw, and we're going to release some of that after-show adrenaline, all right?
Okay, and there better be some Ronda shirts.
Yes.
Because last December, that we went, as I said, huge Becky fan. I was looking for a Becky shirt or something, right? And there was only dude shirts and such.
And dudes who weren't even there. I mean, look, I understand. I'm not going to go to watch a theater show and they sell t-shirts of the actors and one of the actors is on the other show competing down the street. No disrespect. I'm not going to jump on the Roman Reigns hate bandwagon, but they don't need to sell his shirt at a SmackDown show last year when they didn't sell any Becky shirts. They didn't sell any... they didn't sell pretty much anything. AJ Styles, maybe.
Yeah.
I still think the funniest thing ever at that show was everybody, like, how much everybody loved Randy Orton in this area of the world.
I was like, really, like, what?
I mean, here's the thing. Jinder Mahal got cheered. AJ Styles got cheered. And then, yeah.
It was really weird.
It was really, really weird. But
it was really weird.
But Randy Orton, man, whew. I mean, he...
Okay. think of like Ryan Gosling as if he was a wrestler. That was Randy Orton last year.
It was like the second coming of Jesus with a triple cheeseburger, right?
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Okay, so here I am scouring to see if there's any Becky shirts. There's not. I am like really upset here.
Oh,
like
she was.
I'm on the verge of tears. Like you can ask John. I was crying.
You were, until I saw what.
Yeah, and then John, he goes. I'm like, really, people? There's not any Becky shirts. Like what? And then he goes, yo, T. And he points, and I'm like, what, dude? Like, what are you looking at? I don't see what he's looking at. And he points to the goggles, and I see the goggles, and it's like Christmas lights in my eyes.
See, Tara is not a girly girl in the slightest.
Definitely not. Like, if you have the stereotype of girly girl, and then like the real girly girl, and then here's me on the completely opposite side of the world.
That's her in her blue jeans, a sweater, and a Doc Marten boots, and she's like squealing, like like a typical,
yeah. It was pretty cool. And then I wore them and I bought them, and then I wore them for the rest of the night.
And then
I came home and I slept in them.
Yeah, and you didn't take them off for 3 weeks.
No, I really did not, cause yes.
No, yeah. We also bought Sarah a hat. And she will never wear it again, which is a shame, really, because, well, that's what happens when one of them is alleged to be a rapist and the other one is alleged to be a woman beater,
Yeah.
And you can't teach that.
Enzo and Big Cass, in case you did not catch that reference.
Yeah, and the thing is, as well, they weren't on the show either, so.
They really weren't.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, if you guys are interested in a couple of things, I got one more thing. I didn't write it down, and I run this by Sarah, who is my, I guess, co-executive producer. I don't know. She's my boss, basically, as you might know. Wife wears the trousers in this family.
Yes. John might.
Go ahead.
Wear the pants, but she picks them out.
Right. Thanks, T. Emasculated me live on air. No,
that's my job.
That's a job, right? No, I'm actually running the First Because Maybe competition.
What?
Yeah. See,
I'm so confused.
Right. In a couple of weeks, we will be launching our store. And, where you can get T-shirts and stickers and badges. And yes, there will be a store.
What?
Yeah, I know.
What?
Just let me talk.
I'm so confused.
That's okay. It's very easy to do. Now,
shut up.
Now, okay, going back to the point at hand. We're actually, I told you a couple of weeks ago, we're going to be launching a store on a Patreon page and stuff like that. The store is actually going to be coming first, and we have this brand new studio that we're going to be recording in, and I need a name for it. So, guys, as long as it's not Studio McStudio Face, the best person who comes up with the best name,
Face. That's
right?
Awesome.
The person who comes up with the best name for this studio will win a free T-shirt.
Yo.
And some stickers, and I'll get you one or two things off the store and I'll ship them to you, okay? That's what I'm looking for right now, guys. If you were interested, shoot me a line, give me the name of this new building, this new studio that we're going to be in, and we will call it from there in future. But guys, if you're on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, look at Because Maybe Pod, look up our blog at BecauseMaybePodcast.wordpress.com, and if you're on YouTube where we have full episodes and sample episodes, look up Because Maybe Podcast. Also, if you have any business that you want us to take care of, drop me a line, becausemaybe.podcast@gmail.com. I realize I haven't said that in a while, but, we are looking to expand, as I've mentioned. And, guys, if you like this, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your enemies. If you don't like it, share it with your enemies. Just say, hey, you got something that I don't like, you might like it. And okay, because opposites attract. But now, while we have...
Share it with the enemy.
That's right. That's right.
Dun, dun. And then you end up with, a ninja sword off. Samurai, if I... Anyways.
Indeed.
Anyways,
guys, we've got a lot more to come, and we are about now to travel to a small little island off the Costa Rican coast, where some lunatic has bred some extinct lizards, believe it or not.
Because that was obviously an amazing idea. Yeah. Whoever thought of that?
I don't know, but we'll go into it here momentarily.
Clever girl. Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
They do move in herds. You did. You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Dr. Grant, my dear Dr. Sattler, welcome to Jurassic Park.
Review Corner.
Whoever thought that rebreeding raptors was a good idea? Well, the deaths of the people on said island could maybe tell you a different side to that story.
Well, only 2 people died from raptor attacks in the whole movie, believe it or not.
Yeah, but they're flipping raptors, John.
Well, we'll get into the nuts and bolts. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of this and how the raptors that was displayed on the screen weren't correct. And we'll get to that here in a few minutes. So, guys, if you haven't figured it out yet with the grand opening entrance and Tara talking about raptors, we are talking about the greatest summer blockbuster of all time, Jurassic Park.
Yes.
It is a if you haven't heard of this movie, number one, you've been living under a rock, but if you have, let me just go over a few things. It's a sci-fi, it's a thriller, and an adventure movie all rolled into one. Because sci-fi isn't all just about aliens, it actually deals with science and fiction, and this movie deals with a lot of pseudoscience. It was directed by Steven Spielberg and written by Michael Crichton and David Cope. It was produced by Kathleen Kennedy and Jerry Molan, and produced by Amblin Entertainment, distributed by Universal Pictures. Was released on Convenience Store Day in 1993.
What?
Yeah, it was released on Convenience Store in 1993.
I don't understand what that means.
7-Eleven.
Really? Really, John?
Yes, and did a whopping 1993 money, guys. 1.029 billion with a B dollars in box office. The highest grossing movie at that time of all time. Making a profit of $966 million. Yes, it was a huge movie.
Because it was awesome.
It was awesome. The critics say 9 out of 10 on average. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's higher?
I mean, like, if you're watching the whole entire movie and you know that it was made in 93, you're expecting the graphics to be highly terrible, and it's a sci-fi movie. And you're expecting, it's about dinosaurs, so you're expecting the worst. And you see, like, it holds up today.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because, I mean...
Like, if you're watching the same... Because they remade it.
Yeah,
a couple of times. So if you're watching, like, Jurassic Park, The New World, or Jurassic Park World, or whatever, you know the title that I'm talking about. So
Jurassic Park, the Cash Grab Remake, Part 1, yes.
Or the new ones, it holds up, because we got new stuff now.
And the thing is...
It holds up to things back then. And if you look at that, it's 10 out of 10. But if you actually, when you actually watch the movie, there are some, like, moral, like, plot holes that...
Not plot holes, but moral plot thoughts, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if it was a plot hole, they'd be like, how did this happen when this didn't happen?
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, but it does have some moral to it, and we'll get to that here in a few moments. Well, this was originally supposed to be a novel. Right? It wasn't supposed to be necessarily a film, although they thought that they could make a film out of it. What it was is that Michael Crichton and Steven Spielberg were working on ER, which is like the precursor to American medical dramas like Chicago Hope, and for more modern fans, Grey's Anatomy, you know. And...
Love me some Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, you do, good lord. But the book wasn't finished, but Spielberg was fascinated by it. And the thing he was fascinated by the most was the real science that was involved, as opposed to it being pseudoscience. You know? Now, the theory has now long since been disproven, but in 1989, you know, it was somewhat credible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so what actually, you know, because a lot of sci-fi things dealt with pseudoscience and stuff that couldn't really happen. I mean, I'm a big fan of Star Trek Next Generation, right?
Obviously.
And one of the things they have is the Heisenberg compensator, which in theory allows teleportation to happen, but in reality it's impossible because of that. And, so they actually used real science with this, and at the time it hadn't been proven or disproven. So, Michael Crichton was paid... Can you imagine being paid $2 million off the back of a book that you haven't finished writing yet?
Yo, what are you writing if you're getting paid $2 million for a book that's not even done yet?
Well, apparently a dinosaur movie.
Okay. No, but
they once Spielberg was still like king of movies at that point, right? And he was able to say if he wanted to do a movie where it was nothing but cows crapping in the pasture, they would have sold him the rights to it because he was Steven Spielberg, right? And so when he said, "Look, I want to make this movie," they bid on the rights. And
so it was a title thing?
Yeah, well, not just not just a title thing. Remember,
a tiny little movie animation in my head just died.
He heard enough of the book and the science behind the book to where he thought it'd make a good movie. And
it did, but still though.
Well, you've also got to thank Spielberg for this as well, because Steven Spielberg was supposed to make Schindler's List before Jurassic Park, and the studio said you can only do Schindler's List if you do Jurassic Park first. So Jurassic Park would have been done later in time, and I think at that point, it came out at the right time, right? Because I remember growing up, I was 9 or 10, and dinosaurs were, even before Jurassic Park, dinosaurs were picking up. And if they'd have waited another 2 years to release it and release this release Schindler's List, I think both movies benefited from timing, right?
Yeah.
So, Schindler's List came out at the right time. Jurassic Park came out at the right time. And, one of the things that Spielberg said was this movie was supposed to be a sequel to Jaws on land. Can you see that? Because think about it this way, right? The dinosaurs are not bad guys.
No.
Well, no, they're not.
No, because they were born, and they're going to be put in these cages in these fence that have, 10,000 volts full of of energy, of electricity pumping through them. So the dinosaurs, you gotta remember that these dinosaurs are still dinosaurs.
Still dinosaurs.
And they are still running on the same instincts.
Yeah.
That they were born with. Grannies and
it's in
grannies.
It's in their DNA. Right? I mean,
we're working off of the hunt. They have to pray and
it's like when the guys
food and old school.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when guys, they go in the ocean, they put their hand in something and they get pinched or something, and they go, "Ow, what the heck was that?" Well, you were just in his house. Imagine you were at supper and a big giant hand came in. You'd stab with a fork, right? That's exactly what it was doing. And so, Jaws...
You gotta, remember it.
Like Jaws, the shark was technically the bad guy because he was killing everybody, but he wasn't technically a bad guy. He was just defending his turf.
Yeah, because sharks are, they're not as bad as everyone sets them out to be. They're very predatory.
Yeah, territorial.
Territorial and predatorial. Is that a word, predatorial?
It is now.
Well, I'm making it a word. It's officially a terror word.
It's a terror word, yes.
It's in my dictionary. Yes. Along with my other words that I made up.
Anyway, continue.
Anyways, they're very predatory, and if you're in their habitat, which it means if you're in their bubble, they're going to attack you. If you're at work, this one dude is all up in your face, you're gonna be like, "Yo, dude, get out my face!"
Yeah.
Because if you get my face again, I'm hurt you. And like Jaws, he got up in your face again, and then you slapped him, and then all of a sudden,
and all hell broke loose.
And all of a sudden, you got all the bad people involved.
Well, the thing is, how do you create dinosaurs in 1993? Right? They originally wanted stop motion or miniatures, which is basically puppets and claymation and stuff like that.
No.
Similar to how they made Kong in 1978, right?
But
and
no, though.
They tried using this newfangled CGI, right?
Yes.
And it was new at the time. I mean, you got to understand, this is pre-Windows 95.
Damn, homie.
Exactly. So they were doing this like on Macintosh or 3.1 or something like that. And,
Yo.
you know, the effects that they had, some of the best CGI effects I've ever seen. They look realistic. They don't look too computerized. They don't look too polished. They look a little rough without looking fake. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you know, it's a great work, and the guy who ran the miniatures and the stop motion was a guy named Phil Tippett, and he joked that, well, I've just become extinct. Ha 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 ha! Dinosaurs extinct, and they use that line in the movie. Now, ironically,
I remember that.
Phil Tippett is credited on set as the dinosaur supervisor.
The dinosaur supervisor.
Yeah, as a joke, and
Yo.
And
Is that an actual like job title? Because if I could become a dinosaur supervisor, like I would just die right there and just be happy.
It was a way to give Phil Tippett some credit, and in fact, you know, some smarter saw it and did. Phil, there were raptors in the kitchen, and we found out that Phil Tippett is you know, is not a fan of memes because he's not a fan of it. He considers it, you know, however people consider it. But it was a good use. The CGI holds up today, and it's really how's the best way to say this? Movies that came after this had horrible CGI, like Batman and Robin, and Batman for the one with Jim Carrey, and
that was terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible, but the CGI doesn't
very
hold
bad.
up. And that was made after, so advances had been made at that point, you know? Well, those whole movies were screwed up too. I mean, you know, it was...
that's probably the reason why I don't watch any of the Batman movies now.
Oh, the newer Batman movies, I should say. The Christopher Nolan series of Batman movies are absolutely fantastic.
Well, I wouldn't know because I haven't watched them because I've had,
they're
like Batman PTSD.
BTSD. Bat traumatic. Yeah.
Yes.
So, if you've never seen this...
They're so terrible.
Right? So, if you've never seen this movie, again, spoilers ahead, but just a quick summary of what this movie's about. Huge advancements in scientific technology have enabled a mogul to create an island full of living, breathing dinosaurs. John Hammond has invited 4 individuals, along with his 2 grandchildren, to join him at Jurassic Park. Will everything go according to plan? While a park employee attempts to steal dinosaur embryos, and critical security systems are shut down, now it becomes a race for survival, with dinosaurs roaming freely over the island.
Okay.
So that's what it is. I mean, you know, it's a very, 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 very
actiony, like sci-fi movie.
On paper, believe it or not, on paper it just seems so basic.
So it's like pumpkin spice latte basic.
No. I'm not talking about that kind of basic. I mean, like the plot is generically vanilla, right? It's guys get trapped on island. Check. Disgruntled employee turns down security. Check. Fight for survival. Check. Escape. Check. Bang. You bingo.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Now that you put it like that, like I've seen so many, seen of or heard of so many movies that have that generic.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it is a very, very basic movie, but they did a really good job with the cast. They have Sam Neill, Laura Dern, the Goldblum, and Richard Attenborough playing the 4 main parts. Jeff Goldblum in this movie is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Especially when he has that highly X-rated scene where he strips off and the light shining on him, and you know he's the Goldblum. Oh yeah. You know? Laura Dern plays a good role as Dr. Statler. Sam Neill. That was actually supposed to be Harrison Ford, believe it or not. So you had, you'll have Harrison Ford playing with giant Chewies, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Richard Attenborough, this is his first movie in many, many years. In fact, since 1978, I think my notes say. He actually once beat Mr. Spielberg to a Oscar.
Really?
Yes, for his work on the movie Gandhi, which beat out E.T. Gandhi was a great movie, though, too. But that stuff's in the 80s. We also have Bob Peck as Robert Malden. Martin Ferraro as Donald Gennaro, the blood-sucking lawyer. Joseph Mazzello as Tim Murphy. Ariana Richards as Lexi Murphy. My man, Samuel L. Jackson as Ray Arnold.
Yes.
Wayne Knight as Dennis Nedry, and B.D. Wong as Dr. Henry Wu. Now, that doesn't mainly mean anything, because he was only in like 2 scenes. He was given prominent billing, and he was in literally 3 scenes, and had like 10 words. You know, I think it was a waste of Samuel L. Jackson, too. His character didn't get nearly as many lines as he should have. It's Samuel L. Jackson, you know?
Yeah.
We had some cameos from producer Jerry Mullen, and the tour voice was Richard Kiley. Now, Richard Kiley was the old narrator, if you know who that is. You know, whenever you went to watch a movie and you saw a trailer, in 1965.
Oh my god, he was that dude?
He was the voice, yeah.
Yes!
Up until about 1995 or so. This was his last movie role, basically.
No!
So the great thing about this, and I've said this before when it comes to certain casting choices, none of these guys at the time, with the exception of maybe Goldblum and Attenborough, were huge stars at the time, right?
Yeah.
So it was easier to believe that Laura Dern and Sam Neill were doctors Grant and Stadler, you know, because they weren't as high names. You weren't seeing Brad Pitt up there. You were seeing 2 guys who you could look at them and not see Brad Pitt. You'd see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's a problem now with some movies. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yep.
That like you're not seeing the character, you're seeing the actor.
I mean, like, what movies are you talking about?
Okay, like Men in Black, for example. Do you see Agent J or do you see Will Smith?
I see Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with, say, Jim Carrey when he's doing a funny role.
Yeah, it's like you see how the actor acts.
Yeah, you don't see the character.
And so you see how the actor portrays the character. And so you're trying to pay attention. Your brain is trying to pay attention to the character. It's trying to. But all we could see is the actor.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think Clerks is a fantastic movie. It tells a good story. And the actors weren't well known at the time. In fact, they're still not well known. But they weren't well known, so you could picture them being the 2 dudes that they're playing. And, you know, with the exception, like I said, of Goldblum and Attenborough, who were the big stars. I mean, Sam Neill was a big star too, and Laura Dern was a decent star too. But they weren't big enough as to where you couldn't see past their name.
Yep.
As I mentioned, Samuel L. Jackson was wasted. Wayne Knight, Wayne Knight, who plays Nedry, did a fantastic job as the sniveling, whining, underappreciated guy who gets his just desserts.
Was he the guy who stole the stuff?
Yes, Nedry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget people's names.
It's fine. That's fine.
I need to see the pictures.
And I got you. And the fact that they used 2 unknown child actors too also kind of led into it. Because I mean, you couldn't do this with at the time. Who was it? Macaulay Culkin or what's the name? Anne
All
Wilson.
I can think of is Home Alone.
Yeah, but I can't remember her name now. The chick from Matilda, and you know who was the female actress, something Wilson. I can't remember her name. Let me know on the Facebook pages. But you know, it wouldn't have done any good. But basically, this movie benefited from not having an all-star cast.
Yeah.
Also, you know, this does have a lot of things that make you think. It's not just like the last third of the movie is a fight for survival, or the last half of the movie is a fight for survival. But the first half of the movie brings a whole bunch of dilemmas to the forefront. Like, the main plot point of the movie is the moral dilemma of the fact that humans have created multiple species of extinct creatures. You know, I mean, all the scientists are initially in awe of what they're seeing. You know, they see these dinosaurs, they see these plants, and, like, they're just completely and utterly struck. And then once the awe has worn off, they're scientists. You know, Dr. Malcolm, one of my favorite quotes in movies. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
I love that.
Dr. Stadler, she's intrigued by how certain leaves from the Cretaceous period are showing up in the park, then is horrified at the idea of cross-pollination, and the fact that some of the dinosaurs are cross period lines. So what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of them, it's called Jurassic Park. A lot of the dinosaurs are from the Cretaceous era, but the Cretaceous era and the Jurassic era had different, you know,
dinosaurs, different
plants, different air, so on and so forth. So, you know, she's
so she's like, no.
Yeah, it's like, you can't do this. Well, and here's the other thing too. Dr. Grant is initially enthusiastic. You know, he's seeing everything, and you know he's excited. And then all of a sudden, they go to the hatching room where they're breeding the dinosaurs, and he's horrified by the fact that they bred raptors.
Yeah, because raptors are like tiny little murderers.
Yeah, and at that
serial killers.
At that point, those three characters become, for the rest of the peaceful part of the movie, become very, very anti-Park and very, very uncomfortable with what they're taking part of. You notice that?
Yep.
I mean, like, you know, at a minute they were all woo, and now they're all.
Well, okay, you gotta think about it. Like, if this was a real thing and you were the lucky, it's kind of like Willy Wonka with a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's like you were the lucky few that got chosen to be in the tour.
Yeah.
You are going on this tour, right?
Yep.
And at first you're all, oh my god, dinosaurs? Are you kidding? Sign me up. Oh, of course I would love to see these. And you're seeing it, and then
the kid gets stuck in the pipe.
No, before that, and then back of your brain, it finally clicks. You're like, oh my god, these are dinosaurs. They could kill me. Maybe this
isn't a good idea.
Maybe someone should have not created this because they are dinosaurs.
I don't think this is a good idea, Tommy Pickles, basically. So they're all uncomfortable for the rest of the peaceful part of the movie, whereas the blood-sucking lawyer is opposite. At the beginning, he's very, very anti-Park. He's very, very, you know, he's wondering how insurance could be done, and as soon as he sees the dinosaurs, bang, he's like, oh, we're going to have money, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. The novel itself...
You can definitely tell where his priorities are at.
Definitely. He's a blood-sucking lawyer, after all. The novel wrestles with the concept, basically, of biogenetics for vanity and profit.
And then he dies on the toilet.
Yes, he does. We'll get to that here in a few minutes.
That was so hilarious.
But,
my favorite scene.
But do you think that this movie is, I guess you could say, wrestling with the concept of something like, you know, using genetic science for a vanity project and money?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Well, that goes into our second theme of the movie, which is greed and hypercapitalism. Okay? One of the catchphrases of the movie is, spared no expense. We spared no expense. CD-ROM, we spared no expense, you know?
Okay, there's sparing no expense, and then there's killing yourselves without realizing it.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, you know, and this is how it comes on, right? When I say hypercapitalism, look, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make money. There's something wrong with wanting to make money off of the backs of, you know...
the people who just died in front of your face.
And you know, of hurting people, right?
And then you're like...
the way I've always said.
Oh my god, you died. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna sit here and make more dinosaurs because it makes me money. Even though you just died in front of my face, I mean, I care, but I don't.
Exactly. And I mean, the lawyer is like, you know, John Hammond wants a park for all. He wants everybody to be able to come. You know, he wants the whole world to participate in this. He wants to build a theme park with the attractions. Whereas the lawyer's like, well, we can do coupon days. You know, as if to say that this is a park only for the elite and us poor schlubs, you know, can't get anything. The Jurassic Park logo is on literally everything in that movie. The cars.
It's on the Jeeps.
Yeah.
It's on the stationery.
It's everything. Everything picture.
It's on the computers. It's on literally.
So, you know, that's basically, that's their marketing right there. You know, they've already made all the stuff, and I guess they sold it all.
How much money do you think it took for again, think if this was an actual real thing that actually happened, you're the chosen few. Back to our scenario, you're the chosen few on the actual park, and you're sitting here thinking to yourself, how much did it take for them to market and do all of these advertisements
in
on
secret.
The park itself before anybody sat down or set foot on said park?
They must have had like the tightest non-disclosure agreement ever, you know, tightest NDAs. But I mean, you know, as soon
that blood-sucking lawyer,
as soon as the blood-sucking lawyer kind of, you know, snapped into lawyer mode after he realized that this could be like awesome, you know, it's like, don't touch that, that's expensive, don't touch it, you're gonna break it, kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He became like a penny pincher straight off the bat. Basically though, the movie is about survival, right?
Yep.
And it's a traditional survival movie, just with dinosaurs. You know,
So they could kill you.
yeah. I mean, it's like Jaws, right? We mentioned this
Except,
earlier.
oh my god, a Sharknado.
Sharknado was idiotic. Let's be honest.
But it was a fun movie.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that you know that you
I love
watch.
Sharknado.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I thought it was horrible. But you know,
But
like
that's
Jaws,
you, though.
That's true. But like Jaws, Spielberg jokingly said that the movie is the dinosaurs are not the bad guys. We mentioned this earlier. The dinosaurs are not the bad guys.
They're just going off their gut instinct.
Dinosaurs are being dinosaurs. They're being portrayed as a threat, but that's because the humans are in their habitat. You know,
It's like whenever, say, if we were the dinosaurs,
yeah.
so we end up dying because the ice age or an asteroid or however you want to say the dinosaurs died, or science want to say the dinosaurs died. The dinosaurs died. They killed us, and then our great grandchildren are born, and they still have our instincts because they were from our DNA. And you are a dinosaur, and you are brought up from the dead, and your gut instinct is to kill or be killed.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
And people are sitting here in your habitat, and your comfort zone is all the way over there.
Well, see, here's the thing too. I mean, it's, you know, it's if you jump into the lion pit, you're gonna get mauled. Basically, is what it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, okay, now we come to one of the most controversial parts of the movies, as far as I'm concerned, the raptors. Now, did you know that the velociraptors that were depicted in the movie are not velociraptors? They were dramatized for horror effect, basically, I guess you could say. But they weren't what raptors are. Because your average raptor is about the same size as your average chicken, not the same size as your average horse. Which is what the raptors in the movie were.
Yeah.
Raptors were not intelligent. Or definitely not as intelligent as they were shown in the movie. They were the equivalent, I guess you could say the equivalent of the rats of the dino era. You know?
Man.
Now
so,
they're-
like, New York City
Yeah.
could be, like, infested with raptors and no one would know.
Exactly. I mean, you know,
Yo.
they did show the fact that their aggression was correct. I mean, raptors were hyper aggressive, but it's kind of like a chihuahua. This is a Great Dane. You know, the smaller it is, the more aggressive it is. Now, paleontologists did discover a type of raptor that was around about the same size as what was depicted in Jurassic Park, but calling them velociraptors was incorrect. Just like calling it Brachiosaurus, because apparently that doesn't exist either. I might be wrong with that. I don't know. I might be, anyway. But the other thing too, as well, right? And this is what I love about the dinosaurs in this film. The dinosaurs interact in the way that they were theorized, and it looks natural. You know, they move in herds. They hunt together. They, you know, I mean, kind of like what you'd see in the plains now. You know.
Yeah.
You'd see a lion ambush a bunch of wildebeest or something. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just going based off its gut instinct.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, in terms of seeing how, you know, how other animals, the kids Tim and Lexi show incredible resilience in the face of fear and death.
Well,
And it's some brave little children.
it's fight or flight, and whenever your adrenaline kicks in, you do what you have to do to survive and get out of there. Then all your injuries and what you've been through finally catches up to you, and you're like, "Whoa, I just did that."
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's yeah, like you said, fight or flight. That's a great analogy. Lexi's computer knowledge is what saves the heroes. You know,
Because she hacked the computer and turned back on all the security.
Yep, she turned everything back on, but unfortunately for Nedry, for Samuel L. Jackson, for the blood-sucking lawyer who died on the party in perhaps one of the funniest things ever.
He's so funny.
And the gamekeeper, they are all dead. And in fact, they are the only deaths that actually happen, believe it or not. So that's another thing too. People think it's this giant bloodbath. Only 4 people die, and you only see 2 of them on camera.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Well, think about it, right? They find Ray's arm in the generator room. He's already dead.
Yep.
Gennaro is,
he died.
He died on the toilet. Yes.
He died in the potty.
Yes. Nedry and Malden, the gatekeeper, the camera zooms away at their death. So, like when the raptor jumps on him, you don't see the raptor tearing him limb from limb. The camera cuts away. And same thing with Nedry, when he dies and the dinosaur's in his wagon with him, you see the wagon moving back and forth, but you don't actually see him get dismembered.
Yep.
So 4 deaths, only 2 on screen.
Yep.
Actually, only 1 on screen. Excuse me.
'Cause it
was PG.
Oh yeah, man. How would you think the same movie
Oh,
would be made if it wasn't rated PG?
I think it would definitely be PG-13. But no, I think it was PG, and I think for the same reason why Jaws was PG.
PD?
Right? The dinosaurs would be in dinosaurs.
We got the cops, people.
Yeah, right?
The cops.
I mean, the dinosaurs would be in dinosaurs. They won't be in, anything else. They won't be in killers to be killers. They would be in protective of their habitat,
Yep.
So, yeah, I think PG or PG-13 is you could do it now. Now we get into some of the political things in there. This does use a lot of human exploitation. Right?
Human labor and child labor.
Well, not necessarily child labor. I mean...
Okay, maybe not child labor, because the child labor happened before everybody died.
Well, if you're making a theme park designed towards families, you've got to have some children interaction. And he was using his
own grandchildren.
So,
I have a thing that I would like to say. Who are the parents of these children, and what are they going through whenever whoever their parents are? Whenever these kids' grandfather comes home with the kids and is all like,
well, yeah,
yo, your kids kind of nearly got mauled by dinosaurs, and your kids got caught up in a car and it went off a cliff. But other than that, they're fine. They have terrible PTSD for the rest of their life. But other than that, they're good. So, dinner on Thursday?
Right.
Like, how would that conversation go?
Well, I never saw any of the sequels, I'll be completely honest. But that might
I have not either. I want to see them. Like, I'm going.
And I'd say read the book, but they made the character of John Hammond completely opposite to what he was in the book. In fact, the blood-sucking lawyer in the movie is more to what John Hammond was in the book, if that makes sense. But, to build the park, they use cheap labor. And at the beginning scene, a local worker gets killed by a raptor, which is what starts the events of this movie. That's why the insurance company's in there. That's why they've got to, they've got to make sure that the park is safe. Nedry constantly complains that he's not being paid his worth, to the point of where, it's his fault that everything happens.
Because he sold out.
Well, yeah, but if you weren't making the money that you felt you were deserving, and a competitor offered you $2 million to sabotage you take the $2 million.
Also depends on what job I'm doing and what they're asking me to do.
Well, if they're asking you to do the same job for more money, you take the more money, right? Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
And I mean, by him messing with the security systems to sell the stolen embryos, it's what gets him and the rest of the people in this predicament,
Thanks a lot, Nedry. Everybody died.
Well, 4 people died.
Okay, you know what?
Stadler and Grant weren't thrilled about going until John Hammond offered to pay their research grant for the next 3 years. And then they accepted and carried on. Now, it's a way... I got to give John Hammond some credit here, because behind the scenes he managed to get everybody who was involved. He's able to get the 2 top paleontologists, the top chaos theorist, a high-priced executive lawyer, and his grandchildren. Not to mention the fact that he was able to get a
ringleader here.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that he was able to get a couple of crack computer programmers and stuff like that. So he was able to.
Okay, so if this again, scenario time.
Okay.
If this was back to our real thing, Willy Wonka Charlie Factory, you got your golden ticket to the thing. You're here. bam, you're at the park. This dude just like picked you. It's kind of like on Easter or on Christmas or whatever holiday you happen to
Right.
like
No judgment here.
do. I don't care whatever holiday you happen to celebrate. If you get like or Valentine's Day or what point is whichever holiday. You get a candy assortment of those chocolates. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And this is pretty much what I see with him thinking of. He's going, I want you, and I want you. Bam.
And he had the large amount of money to back it up.
And he's in here with his gigantic bank vault with his bags of money that have like the money sign on them.
Right. Swag bags.
Swag bags.
I think he also did the same thing with the geneticists that we got. Because look, right? Within the first 30 minutes of the movie, the two scientists that he brought to the island are questioning the morality of the park, and they are not geneticists. So you know that the geneticists had to have thought something, you know, to keep their moral on tack, and it was a big bag of silver, for lack of a better term, you know?
Swag bags, y'all. Swag
Exactly.
bags.
And the other main thing of this movie is the constant references to the fact that this is a normal theme park that just so happens to have dinosaurs in there.
Okay, there is no normal theme park that has dinosaurs.
Well, that's the thing. That's the uniqueness of the park, but in every other way, it's just a normal theme park that has dinosaurs. You know, so it's
I want to know if there was a person on his team that was like, no.
Well, I think it was summarized by a simple quote in the movie where John Hammond says, "All major theme parks have delays. When they opened Disneyland in 1956, nothing worked." And
That is true.
But Dr. Malcolm quips
That is
back
true.
with, "Yes, but John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't murder the tourists."
I know, that was also one of my favorite lines.
So, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So,
yeah, but
do you have anything else that you think would be a theme of the movie outside of that?
a theme?
Yeah. We got the survival, we've got, the fact that the dinos are in there. I mean, what do you see anything else that movie can represent juxtaposition-wise?
My thing is, like, the morality,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
Like, there had to be, when he first started out, at least one person on his team that pointed out all of the morality flaws in every single thing that he did. And he probably was like, you don't like
fired.
what I'm doing? You're fired.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's wrap up a few more things before we get to some of our own opinions on it. Let's lift the hood up of this movie and go behind the scenes a little bit. The T-Rex animatronic did not work in the rain.
Nope.
And what was funny is that the first day they forgot to turn him off properly. So it was raining. The dino's not turned off. The dino came to life and started walking and freaked everybody on the set out that this dinosaur had come back to life.
Oh my god.
Well, we brought Disney up a couple of times, and in the book, John Hammond is supposed to be a dark version of Walt Disney. Let nothing getting in his way of success in this park, damn it. But in the movie, he's very, very a benign man who's just trying to, live out something. And, you kind of feel for him a little bit, but then you realize that it's his fault. All of this is his fault.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Even though the film is called Jurassic Park, very few dinosaurs from the Jurassic period are in the movie.
It's titled wrong.
But I think it's because of the fact that Jurassic Park is a lot easier to say than Cretaceous Park.
It should be called the Cretaceous Period Park.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
because that's not a mouthful.
No, it's not a mouthful. But Michael Crichton said basically that he thought Jurassic Park sounded like a cool name, so he kept it. John Hammond, Richard Attenborough, and Ian Malcolm, the Goldblum.
Yes. I really want that leather jacket, though.
They mirror the thoughts of Spielberg and Crichton when it came to the morality of the movie. Interestingly enough. That's why Hammond always wears white and Malcolm always wears black.
Explain.
Okay. Spielberg... They had not a disagreement where they didn't talk to each other, but like... Crichton believed that the morality of the movie... Okay. In the speech where Dr. Malcolm gives, where he talks about you didn't think about whether or not you should... the could-should speech, right?
Yeah. That was awesome.
That was awesome. That's how Crichton felt. Whereas Hammond, with the whole, we should be able to do this, his attitude on it of we're bringing wonders to the park, we're fixing the world, we're blah blah blah. That's how Spielberg felt. So it wasn't like a disagreement, but they put that into the characters, and that's why they dressed opposite each other, because they were completely opposite in terms of their view.
Yeah. So
now you want to hear the weirdest part of this movie?
Shoot.
This movie features 75 minutes where there is not a dinosaur or dinosaur part on screen. The movie is 90 minutes long.
Where?
Only 15 minutes of dinosaur show up in this movie. The whole movie.
Well, there's a dinosaur bones.
Nope.
At the research thing, whenever he found the other scientists.
Okay, but I'm talking about like when you get to the park.
Whoa.
Only 15 minutes of movie is dedicated to the dinosaurs.
What about whenever they were with the eggs and everything?
That's part of the 15 minutes.
Wait, hold up. What?
Yep, 15 minutes.
I'm so confused.
Exactly. And if you see a full-size dino on the screen, it's CGI. If you see a partial dinosaur on the screen, it's an animatronic. So, the T-Rex eating the guy on the toilet...
That was so funny.
CGI. The Brontosaurus eating the leaves on the tree that was just the head, animatronic.
I just can't get over whenever you're on the set and then there's just like a gigantic T-Rex coming for you. While you're sitting here just eating your...
Well, you want to go to the toilet on that occasion too, right? After you wipe the crap out your pants, you get on with acting. This movie was, like a lot of Spielberg stuff, was scored by the wonderful, wonderful John Williams.
Yep.
You know who John Williams is?
Yep.
The guy who did what other movies?
I don't know.
You don't know who he is, right?
Nope.
Okay. John Williams is the guy who
Fake it till you make it, people.
Is the guy who did Star Wars, Harry Potter, Back to the Future.
Okay, well then now I know who he is. You just had to say what he did, John.
He was the guy who
just had to say what
music.
he did.
But for me, this movie's 10 out of 10. Tara, what do you think? You said 9 out of 10 earlier.
Okay. So overall awesomeness, 10 out of 10, and morality, maybe an 8.
All right, cool. So what did this movie lead to? It pioneered the use of CGI. Now every movie's got CGI in it, regardless of whether or not if it's needed or not.
Yeah, because Jurassic Park people.
Yep.
Keep up.
There are a lot of paleontologists around my age because of this movie. It ignited their interest in Jurassic Park. So anybody from the age of about 30 to 45, there's a lot of paleontologists that age.
Even though it wasn't about Jurassic Park, it was about the Cretaceous Park.
Oh, yes. Semantics.
Dun, dun, dun.
Unfortunately, it's got too many sequels and reboots. I think as a standalone movie, this I think it should have been the end of it. They should not have made any more sequels, even if there was a market for it.
Okay, but you gotta admit, Jurassic Park: The Lost World was a good movie.
I mean, okay, it was a good movie, but let's look at the other.
Like Jurassic Park was a good movie.
Okay, look at Independence Day. Independence Day 2.
Yes.
Awful. Ghostbusters 2, not as good.
Okay, have it. Wait, are you talking about the one with all the females?
No, I haven't seen that movie yet.
I want to see the one with all the females.
I really don't.
I do, because female pride.
Oh no,
Girl pride. Girl power.
I'll be honest, a trailer is supposed to make you want to go into the movie, and I've mentioned this before. My opinion of that movie has got nothing to do with the all-female cast.
It better not be.
No, it's. I could care less who the actors are. It's the fact that, number one, okay, in the trailer, right? They talk about, for the first time in 30 years, this is happening.
Yep.
And then they talk about how it's never been done before in the movie. So which one is it? Is it old or new? Is it a reboot or is it a sequel? Then the jokes in the movie just weren't, in the trailer, weren't funny. Male or female. And the character they had Leslie Jones play is a character that I really don't want to see anymore. You know, the stereotypical loud, obnoxious black woman. I really don't want to see that anymore. That's why I don't want to watch the Ghostbusters movie. It's got nothing to do with the fact that it's an all-female cast. It's got everything to do with stereotyping character, the lack of jokes, and the fact that they can't decide whether or not it's a reboot or a sequel.
I just want to see it because it's an all-female cast, and I just want to see how
it is. Well, that's fine. That's
how we females do it.
Well,
because we're awesome.
Women are awesome. I love women. I have a wife. I have daughters. I have mother.
Yeah.
I have a lot of sisters.
You have a wife who will hurt you. You have daughters who will hurt you, and you have sisters who have hurt you.
Yes. Yeah.
Put it more likely.
Right. So, in the end, Jurassic Park, probably the greatest summer blockbuster movie of all the times. And, you know, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, because you would be mad not to. So that's it for right now. That's it for Jurassic Park. We are going to take a quick break, and then we will be back to talk about what we're doing next week and close out the show. Alright guys, we're almost done for this week. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us. If you are on social media, look up Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. Look up Because Maybe Pod on both of those. Now, we don't have a social media question this week because I haven't had time to think of one, and I'm lazy. You know that better than anyone, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, what I will talk about, however, is what we've got planned for next week. Now, next week will be our first of 2 Halloween episodes.
Dun dun dun.
Right. Tara will be back next week, and we're going to be talking about Scream.
Yep. And then you're going to have like a Scream thing.
And then on Wednesday.
Scream.
Right. And on Wednesday, me and Sarah are going to get together, and we're going to be talking about another Halloween movie that was made in the 90s. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking Sarah to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just rude.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, everybody's got to take a break from the mic sometime, except for me. Guys, thank you So, guys, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us. Once again, I'm going to plug the competition that I started at the beginning of the show. We'll be opening our shop within the next 2 weeks, and if anybody can come up with a fantastic name for the studio, they will get like a t-shirt and 1 or 2 other things. I haven't decided yet, but you'll get a nice little box of goodies. So, guys, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us. Tara, it has been awesome to have you on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
She will be back next week, and until then, guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will see you next time.